Please, agree.
Madam President Kolinda, welcome to Israel again. This is your third visit, and I think it reflects the friendship between our two countries and your attitude towards Israel. Could be a fourth.
Actually, I am planning a fourth in January.
Of course, next week. We have that friendship that we're talking about has been is going to be exemplified in this visit by an agreement on cyber, and we're working on technology, working on security. I think we should work more on our trade. It's a bit lower than what it can be and will be, I'm sure. And I think your visit will help, I think, strengthen all of these aspects and more. There are many more areas that we can cooperate together. I want to extend my condolences to the Croatian people following the attack in Kabul. I know you lost a soldier and some people are wounded. We wish them a speedy recovery. I think this exemplifies the dual challenge that we face. And since you're going to head the EU, I think that it's an opportunity to send this message to all the nations of Europe. The twin challenges that I think makes Israel particularly significant for Europe is, one, to seize a bright future, to fashion a bright future, and second, to resist a dark past. What happened in Kabul and what we're all facing, and you're facing too, is the attempt by radical Islam to bring back humanity to a very dark period. Really, I was going to say the Middle Ages, but that's a bit advanced. Some of them would like to take us to the beginning of the Middle Ages. This is exemplified, obviously, by Daesh, but in my opinion also by, first and foremost, by Iran. That is a much more powerful and malevolent force. Israel is in the forefront of the battle against radical Islam. And I would say very simply, if Israel wasn't here in the Middle East, then I think the Middle East would fall to radical Islam. The fact that we are here, the fact that we protect ourselves is obviously very important for us, but in defending ourselves, we're defending the entire Middle East, and by defending the Middle East, we defend Europe. This is the first point about resisting a dark past. As far as seizing a bright future, I think we're in the midst of a revolution, and the future belongs to those who innovate. Israel is the innovation nation. You have great capacities in Croatia, and I think that we can enhance them. When I talk about resisting a dark past, I'm talking also about, of course, about the scourge of anti-Semitism that is raising its head. I know your family history, your own family history in this regard, and I know that you will lead the effort, both in Croatia and in the EU, against the rebirth of anti-Semitism. I think the opportunities for enhancing the friendship between us and giving a better life to our peoples are real, and I'm sure that we'll make them closer and more real by this visit. So welcome again to Jerusalem.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister Netanyahu, Benjamin Bibi, if I may.
Thank you.
Thank you for the very warm welcome and very constructive discussions already that we've had tete-a-tete. This is my third visit to Israel during my presidential mandate, but the first state visit of a Croatian president to Israel. So I believe that today and in the course of the next 2 days, we will be making that future come together, as my primary interest is to raise the level of our friendship to the level of strategic partnership. And for that, we have many things in common, from the similarities of our positions, the similar past, but also a joint future in Europe and the Mediterranean, where we have to take care together of the common threats. Thank you very much for your condolences for the loss of the Croatian soldier Josip Priški. It was a very sad event. This was the first soldier that we lost, but nevertheless, as you know, we experienced great difficulties and a lot of casualties in the 90s when Croatia was victim of war and aggression. And when I go to Afghanistan, and I do that very often in order to provide support for our troops, I asked them, how would you explain what you're doing here? Why are you in Afghanistan so far from Croatia? Because some people could not. I think that there's more and more people who understand. And one of the soldiers, who's also a veteran of the Croatian homeland war, told me, because you fight the adversary while they're still long away from your home. And when they come to your doorstep, it's too late. So working together in combating the threats of terrorism, of what migrations bring with them, of human trafficking, proliferation of weapons of mass destruction, etc., will be most important for the security of our nations and of our people. And I hope that in that sense we will increase our cooperation in defense industry as well, in security and intelligence, but also in many other areas. You have mentioned innovation, and this is one of the aspects that I told your ambassador before I came to Israel that I am most interested in. I congratulate you on what you have done, and I would like to see the same happening in Croatia. So we certainly will be tasking our embassy here and consulting your ambassador in Zagreb in order to improve our relations in the area of ICT, but innovation in general, in particular regarding agriculture, irrigation, and many other systems. Here with me is also the Minister of the Economy, Mr. Horvát. We are planning business delegations this year as well, so I hope that we will have business-to-business connections that will yield concrete results. As I've said, tomorrow we're going to Haifa and signing a memorandum of understanding between the ports of Rijeka, my hometown, and Haifa. And I hope it will be a first step in joining the projects of the 3 Seas Initiative, where we will be building infrastructure from the Baltic to the Adriatic to the Black Seas in order to promote growth, development, and cohesion in Europe. And that can be extended to your own project that was today presented to us by our Minister of Foreign Affairs of building infrastructure here, because infrastructure connects people and infrastructure can do a lot to bring about peace, security, and of course, prosperity. As far as anti-Semitism is concerned, Mr. Prime Minister, I want to reassure you that in the first half of the year 2020, you will not only have a friend at the helm of the European Union, so to say so, but we have also taken care that we have several activities that address remembrance of the Holocaust and combating anti-Semitism. One of them will be an exposition in New York on the righteous among the nations in Croatia. However, there will be also other seminars in Croatia, in Serbia, and in the region, but also in the European Union on the Holocaust and remembering the Holocaust. Because too many times have we said never again, and then we saw it happen again. I saw it with my own eyes. So many of our people perished. It could have been prevented. And last but not least, in terms of prevention, I believe that our respective regional situations need to be brought to attention a lot more clearly to the European Union and the United States, because problems or issues flare up into disputes unfortunately very quickly. This is the potential of our region. We can do a lot of good, but we can also descend into chaos very quickly. And for that reason, we need to monitor everything that is going on around us and to help the neighboring countries, especially for us in Croatia. It's very important to bring our neighbors from Bosnia and Herzegovina to Northern Macedonia into the fold of the European Union, because when we're together at the same table, we can talk and resolve problems and make sure that our part of the world never sees war and destruction again. And in all that, again, I extend a hand of friendship and cooperation, and thank you.
Thank you. Welcome once again
Thank you.
to you and your entire delegation. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Theodore Herzl. If you don't know, this is our modern Moses. So he brought us back to the promised land, and now we make it a land of promise. Please, come on.